polls for the Edo 2024 governorship election closed on Saturday, focus shifted to the collation of results, and the INEC state headquarters on Benin Auchi Road in Benin City, the Edo state capital, designated the State Collation Center, begins to receive interested parties. Party members and supporters, as well as other stakeholders, wait patiently for the exercise to commence. However, as the night deepened and it seemed information from the electoral umpire concerning this stage of the electoral process was scarce, the party supporters became agitated.
The collation officers were not allowed to do their jobs. The REC started collating by himself using one Mrs. Anna. And they said the woman is the one who does all the dirty jobs for them at the INEC headquarters. She's APC, body, soul, and spirit. I used to think that election umpires have no political party. But from what they have said to me this evening, the woman is APC. She's the one that distributed money to people trying to see if they could change it. But the Edo people doesn't change. They couldn't subvert the will of the wishes of the Edo people. What happened? They took all those things inside, and they are trying to now. They are not trying to. They are rewriting the results. They are doing the same thing. Shomole and Phillips, they are doing the same thing at Auchi, and people are resisting it.
Sometime in the early hours of Sunday, the governor of the state, Mr. Obaseki, who had come into the INEC office earlier, is escorted out of the premises. Some supporters of the APC react to his departure with chants. INEC, through a statement, discloses its plan to open the collation of local government area results at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Prior to the collation opening, Governor Obaseki holds a press conference where he explains his presence at the INEC headquarters earlier.
At about 1 a.m., I got a report that collation was supposed to have been moved to the INEC head office. I also got reports from our agents that PDP agents were not allowed into the collation process. At that point in time, I called the REC to find explanation as to what was going on. There was no response. I then went to INEC to seek to meet with the REC to try and understand what steps the INEC was taking to continue the process of collation. When I got in there at about 2 a.m., I did not see any collation taking place. And the REC refused to come out to explain what the situation was.
The governor of Adamawa State and the PDP governorship candidate also addressed members of the press.
In Edo South local government, collation process was stopped in Oredo and Upper Obaha and Ego, and moved illegally to the state headquarters of the State Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Benin, on the instruction of the Assistant Inspector General of Police, in complete breach of the statutory collation process.
From our perspective, the way these elections are going, they're probably going to be the worst elections in the history of this country. We have information, for instance, where we have over 20 polling units, where the votes, the accredited voters, are less than the total votes, which is not possible. We have over 20 polling units from the results that were announced yesterday, where from their unaccredited voters, the total votes that they've now announced are more than the accredited voters.
These protesters supporting the PDP gave vent to their grievances streets away from the INEC headquarters. The collation center filled with stakeholders, including party agents, election observers, journalists, and INEC officials, eventually opens at 11:40 a.m. The center, which gave room for observations from party agents, succeeded in collating the results from 16 local government areas shortly before 3 p.m. It, however, announces a recess as results from the remaining 2 local government areas were still being awaited. Again, another press conference from the camp of the PDP, this time the state party chairman who speaks.
You would expect that the figures, the summation of the figures on Form EC8A should or ought to be the same as the ones you will get on IREV. You will also expect that the announcement by the chief returning officer for the state or by the LGA returning officer at the State Collation Center should also tally with the previous two figures because it's about the same thing. What we have noticed, once again, preliminary analysis shows that there is massive discrepancies in those three figures for nearly all the local governments in the state.
Away from the briefing, the INEC State Collation Center reopens around 5:20 p.m. to collate the results from the remaining two local government areas well before its final declaration. Jessica Olubusere, Channels Television News.